Tom and Dan to tell you about our friends over at Jeff's Bagel Run, the best bagels and coffee and assorted crazy drinks that you're ever going to have. It is Summer of Sips going on right now at Jeff's Bagel Run.
Yep, they're constantly coming out with new drinks, some new iced coffee.
Crazy lattes, blackberry lemonade, raspberry lemonade, cereal milk latte, like just really, really creative and fun drinks. Dirty soda, all kinds of good stuff.
And, of course, the best bagels you're ever going to have, always boiled, and that makes them really authentic, delicious bagels that you need to try. Yeah. My kids love them because they have such a variety of spreads, too, that are made fresh every day with fresh ingredients.
Yeah, what do you like, savory? You like spicy? You like sweet? Banana. They have this banana pudding, spread that's... I mean, it's the
be a cake.
It's the most phenomenal cream cheese I've ever had. You got to try them. It's Jeff's Bagel Run with locations everywhere.
Yeah, tons of locations around Central Florida and beyond that. So many that are popping up that the easiest way to find them is just search Jeff's Bagel Run or get their free app. Go to your app store, search Jeff's Bagel Run.
Yep. Get a free bagel, too.
Yeah. And with their free app, you could order ahead. When you go there, use hashtag TDBagel. We're sending gifts each month to people that use the hashtag
so when
randomly.
You use our sponsors, we like to hook you guys up. So use the hashtag TDBagel.
It's jeffsbagelrun.com.
Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Is it the Friday free show? Is it? It feels like one because we have a very special guest. I'm Dan. It's A Mediocre Time.
I'm Tom, and sitting on the couch with us, our old friend Savannah Boan. How you doing, Savannah?
I'm so good. I can't believe I haven't been here before. This place is amazing.
It's very good to see you. I'm going to turn your camera on so everybody can see you.
Savannah spent, as soon as she got in here, she started playing our Deadpool pinball machine. Then she's telling me stories about how she used to
can
play...
we tell these stories? Like, you just started spiraling stories.
Pinball with your disco dancing aunt.
Yeah, my aunt, her name was Ann, and she was a disco dancer, but she was also a roller skating disco dancer.
Yes, the best kind.
And she...
as a profession? Or she just did that as a hobby?
She used to do contests, and she would...
Where is this at? Is this in
South
Chirag?
Carolina.
Is this in Chirag? Because I want to talk about Chirag today. Can we talk about Chirag today?
But you had to go outside of Chirag to get to a disco. There's no discos in Chirag.
That was my first question. I want to go to the Chirag disco.
And then I was thinking about you guys this morning because I had to go to work before I came here, and I had to jump the back of the train to go from.
Come on, stop jumping the train.
As soon as I jumped on it, I was like, "Oh man, we got way too comfortable when they were out at Gatorland."
We did.
And then I came in here, and I just feel like I'm at your house, and I'm like, "Oh man, watch your mouth, like watch."
No,
like,
you're fine.
It feels like we're just talking.
You're fine. You can say, "Look at this dump."
Like,
you can say whatever you want.
You can curse. This
Don't get too comfortable.
Yeah, you can curse. I don't know if you're going to, but you are allowed to. If you want to curse, you're allowed.
Rules.
If you want to insult us, you're more than you've earned that right to insult us. We're just happy you're here. We got a voicemail from a guy that was like, "Hey man, we know you guys are scared. We don't know if you want her in there." We're like, "No, we have always wanted."
Why would you be scared?
I don't know. I mean, but I think because of just life, I think people think in life marching on that people always think that there's got to be some sort of weirdness, and there's not.
No,
it's just it never lined up correctly, and now it has, and it's actually better because we get you in our studio, which is really cool, instead of like having to go remote or something like that. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, I love
Appreciate you being here, man.
So, Savannah, I've got a ton of questions to ask you, and one just being a wildlife influencer. All right,
okay.
So
you want to start there? We can start with the present and maybe go backwards just a touch. much. I want to talk about Chirag. Remember South Carolina.
So
because I'm going to Tennessee and I'm going to redneck for a little while.
Do it.
And yeah, I'm going to need some help on that.
I was on SavannahBoan.com this morning doing my research. And then, like a wildlife influencer, and I'm like, yeah, that's a perfect description for Savannah. Obviously, she works at Gatorland.
Are you gonna lie and say you thought of
Gatorland.
that? You're like,
No.
that's an excellent. That's
but then I started thinking of other wildlife influencers, and then I was like, I wonder if Savannah, like, if other influencers that do the same thing reach out to you and like want to collaborate, or like, how, how's that world of wildlife influencer world?
It's really weird because, like, growing up in South Carolina with my dad, he always taught me there's no limit to the amount of good you can do in the world if you don't care who gets the credit, right? And I find that the deeper I dive into conservation and influencing and all that kind of stuff, people are really serious about who gets the credit.
People like credit. I'm a credit man myself.
I was going to say tread easy because you might be talking to King Credit, because this guy is the guy that let me paint the picture.
Okay.
Anonymous donation, though, sir.
This is the guy that he doesn't really believe in anything spiritual, but he will pray to my dead dad because my dead dad didn't get the opportunity to take credit for the wedding that he paid for. That was my wedding. You know what I mean? Like, he wants the credit. He wants everyone to know, like, ting, ting, ting.
Well, no harm with some credit.
Is everybody enjoying my son or daughter's wedding? Yes, we are. Like, I provided this. Give me credit.
Hey, listen, when all the gators are healthy and alive in Florida, I'm going to say my friend Savannah did this.
I'm already saying.
Yes, do it. Please, do it.
I'm already saying that.
Do it. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. We live in a crazy world right now, right?
Yeah.
Where you think somebody's your friend, but then at the end of the day, you can't really trust them because people can record your phone conversations. People can screenshot everything you message them. So I'm always like I feel like the biggest hermit in the world. Like, when Daniel texts me, I'm always ready to text right back, especially if I'm not working, because I'm also not talking to anyone or doing anything.
You text back faster than anyone. Like, literally any person I've ever texted. This guy will never text me back, but I understand. We've been together long enough. We hate each other so much.
That's a credit to no credit type of personality. No credit text you back.
She'll text me back and then be like, feeding gators. But she's texting me back.
I know.
I'm like, we'll use both your arms to feed the gators. You don't need to be on your phone.
I am surprised by someone as busy as yourself. You do text back quick. You are quick to respond. Yeah. I'm like, God damn, how is she doing this?
Well, because you have to be on the phone all the time, right? You have to be on the phone all the time if you're an influencer. Because what happens is, and it doesn't have to be wildlife. It can be anything.
So you're seeing the reel from a person that does it with, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's say I put out a video and someone wants to write something nasty, right? If I don't catch it as soon as it gets there, so people like to bandwagon, right? We live in a bandwagoning society, right? So it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. People just like to say mean stuff. And so if I don't catch it immediately and block that person and get them out of there, other people will start to be like, maybe I should say something mean too. And then I'll do it.
Poison
and then
the well.
You do it. And then
So it's like a virus? Like a virus of negativity that grows on the
I feel like it is. And it's on everything. It could be Facebook, it could be TikTok, whatever it is. And so I try to catch it. Like, I'll nip it in the bud. Like, if I even get the flavor or hunch that you're going to say something negative, I'll block and delete you. I probably have more people blocked and deleted than most people have ever even come into contact with on social media.
Now, I have noticed that when people leave comments, even on our Reddit and stuff like that, and it's fine. Critique how you want. Take it in however you want. You're listening. I appreciate it. But I've noticed that it's this. They go, hey, I don't like this. Who's with me?
Yeah.
Instead of, hey, I don't like this in my mind and I'm going about my day.
Right.
It's different now. It's like I need to say what I dislike and then get an army of people that also dislike it. And then I need to, I don't know, let the person that creates it know that I've created an army that hates them now or something. I don't know. I don't know what that last step is yet, but there's something there that I don't understand.
I'm quitting my job. Who's coming with me? I get it. Tom Cruise. But, that's super interesting in the fact that you've adopted that. And you're 100% right.
You're the opposite of that.
I've never blocked or deleted.
Not even one person.
I don't have the followers Savannah has. Because I don't know it's popular. No one cares. I'm not interested interesting at all.
Yeah, you could have been. You
It's a
could have been more.
regular-
Both when you two were the hottest radio personalities in Orlando, she decided to take off into the stratosphere, and you decided to die on the vine. You just died on the vine. Look at him. Look
I'm
at
doing
him.
the same thing.
No, but
They're lazy.
everybody loves you guys, and people come to the park even before you guys came out to the park. People would come all the time, and it was the strangest thing the way that they would do it.
Yeah.
They would come
Secret.
up, and I would see their Tom and Dan shirt, right? So like I already know where you stand, like, and that's great. And then they'd be like, they wouldn't come up directly. They just kind of walk by and be like, "When are you gonna be on Tom and Dan?"
Yeah. That's such a good impression.
And I would be like, well, whenever they ask me, I will go, and they'll be like, like, and then I don't know what that means. Does that mean, yeah, you will, or they hate you, or
Well, it depends on what the bandwagon is, right? It depends on
exactly.
what the bandwagon is saying. at
It's
the time.
conspiracy.
Yeah, it is.
So like, back to my original question.
Yeah.
Do other wildlife influencers reach out? How many others are out there?
Oh my
Like,
God, millions.
I know there are a lot, but are there one with every species of animal? You know. And
Probably. I mean, I know there's a little girl now that's doing cicadas. Like, she loves cicadas. And she's maybe like 5 or 6 years old, maybe 7. She found a cicada. You know how they come out of the thing? She found one when she was little.
Yeah.
And now she, like, all of a sudden is cicada girl. And so, like, she's like
God.
7 or 8. She wears cicadas on her clothes. She has stuffed cicadas.
Yeah.
And, like, good for her. Like,
Yeah.
get out there and do
Yeah.
it. I don't know anyone who's championed cicadas. Do you guys?
I mean, they're big in Florida just because I think we have them, right? I know
Yeah.
people talk about them.
And I think we have a super bloom this year of cicadas, if
Personally,
that's what you call it, because I don't even know.
Is that big yellow thing that ends up in my driveway? So
No, it looks like a giant fly.
Oh.
And then they bust out, okay, so
What's that yellow-looking grasshopper thing?
that's a lubber grasshopper.
Those are disgusting.
Yeah, those are toxic.
Oh,
Don't
my-
let your dogs eat them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't
See,
let your
that's
dogs.
why-
Oh my God! I've been feeding them to my dogs.
Oh my God!
I thought it was free food.
I've been eating them. God, I had one before you came.
But yeah, like so the.
By the way, I have to declare this because you made me promise. I have to declare this at the beginning of the show. She made me promise. She is our official wildlife
Yes.
correspondent.
Yes.
Of Tom and Dan. Of everything Tom and Dan. Our official wildlife correspondent is Savannah. Boom.
Alligator Rob. So sad.
Go grab his bobblehead.
Oh, do you guys know Alligator Rob?
Yeah,
Oh, he's
he's
a buddy
got
of ours.
the-
But,
Oh, yeah.
but for you, I'm going to wipe my ass with his
Yeah,
bobblehead.
screw you,
Like, yeah,
Alligator
we're done
Rob.
with it. Yeah.
Alligator
We're
Rob,
Savannah now.
I think he just got sick or something recently.
Oh,
No.
I'm
Oh, go
sorry.
get the bobblehead. I will
Rest in
No, but
peace.
Alligator Rob's good people. I
Yeah.
don't know him that well, but I know him well enough
No,
to
he's
know
good.
that
He
the
has a
stuff
very
he's
high
doing is
opinion
great.
of you. Very
Yeah,
high
and
opinion.
I like him. But that's the thing. Like, so the people that watch the wildlife influencers want them to fight, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I
the
love a
strange
fight.
thing. so like Chris Gillette, do you know who he is?
I know the name,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's
The Razor family?
No.
He doesn't.
No, like Chris Gillette and Gabby, they have a wildlife refuge up past like Ormond Beach or something like that, but they're from South Florida, and
They
and
still do gator stuff
So what
sometimes, right?
happens all
Or-
the time is like people will see a video that I did, and they'll tag Chris, and they'll be like, "Look at this." To which he's like, "Who cares? Like, Savannah's my friend, right?"
Yeah.
Or they'll send him a video of mine and be like, "She's so stupid," right? Which he doesn't reply to. So they came out to Gatorland for the 76th birthday party.
Nice.
And I was like, "Can we just please make a video together to tell people to stop tagging each other in our videos?" so we were just both like, we're the big alligator. We were just both like, "Hey, do me a favor and stop tagging Chris in my videos." And then he was like, "And do me a favor, stop tagging Savannah in mine. Like, we're friends. We're here together. Everything's good." But then they're like, "He probably really just did that because she made him." Like,
Yeah. She's
Doesn't
mind.
matter.
That's that woman mind control. You know how they do it. Turn on the charm.
It's so
She's up in
crazy.
his head, free rent in his head all the time. Yeah. Oh my God.
You've got with hundreds of thousands of listeners. That's a different number. Like where it's just so much humanity that you're going to get the people.
Yeah.
You know, you get crazy.
Well, you probably get
the-
some tales. Like, you probably
Yeah.
get some people pouring their hearts out, or you might get the occasional sad person, like, telling my wife lives Savannah. You know, like, you get people, like, they getting your DM, start hanging it out there, you know? Like, I'm a really bad person.
Well,
I
there
need to
was a
change my
girl
ways.
one time I got a message on, I think I got a Facebook message, and they were like, "Savannah, did I just talk to you 5 minutes ago?" And I was like,
no.
"No." and they were like, okay, so there's this girl, and she's pretending to be you, and she's on some other platform. I can't remember what it was right now. It wasn't any big platform, but it was a little platform, and she was pretending to be me, and she had stolen all my pictures and videos and was saying that it's her, right? So I reached out, and I was like, hey, Platform X, can you please pull this down? Because this is not me. And they wrote me back and they were like, well, how can you prove it's not you? And I was like, because I'm telling you it's not me. Like, like I'm the one with the picture that looks like this, and those pictures are all taken, right? Yeah. So then it got like really crazy because this girl was asking people for money, and she would be like doing stuff, and she'd be like, hang on a second, let me go feed this alligator, I'll be right back. And like put the phone off to the side and then like act like she was doing all this stuff. So it was the craziest thing.
She'd make like alligator sounds, because that's cool. If she was going to the extent of like ruffling and banging her cabinets,
so we had to get attorneys involved, right? Because of the money aspect. Like, I don't want people to think of that.
Sure.
And then she messages me like a month later, the person that was doing it, and she was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I just want you to know I'm only like 14 years old and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and now I can't even write you back and be like, well, like, be your own person and, like, do your own thing. Like, I can't even write you back now.
Child.
You're a baby.
Because it's already gone legal. Like, I can't even try to help you now.
Yeah.
Where if you would have just reached out to me in the beginning, I'm happy to talk to anyone and be like, well, if you want to work with alligators, this is how you do it. But, like, don't pretend to do the thing. Like, and also, you have no frame of reference with me. Like, she lived in, like, Wyoming or something.
Right.
Like,
How bizarre is that? Some
That is very
14-year-old.
bizarre.
Hey, imagine being the parents of that 14-year-old girl where, like, your daughter is impersonating a wildlife influencer in Florida. Like, what the hell? You're like, that's crazy.
It happens all the time, though. The catfishing thing is, like, completely out of control.
Crazy.
Well, because it's so easy to connect with people now. It's so easy to, like, comment. Like, that's a weird thing, too. It's like now there's celebrities, there's influencers, and then
We have to limit your
one
accessibility,
comment.
right? Like, do you have to limit it? Yeah,
I don't ever feel like I go anywhere and I'm overwhelmed by people that love alligators. Like, people will just, it's Florida. People will come up and they'll be like, hey, thanks for saving this one or blah, blah, blah. Like, and people are really great about it. When I flew into LAX last time, I got off the plane and I had my hat on. I'm waiting on my luggage. And these two girls named Mercedes and the other girl's name was like LaRonda. Like, and they ran up to me and they were like, you that bitch to be playing with them alligators. And I was like, yep. And they were like, get in this TikTok. Like, so we made this TikTok together, and they were just like random people at the airport. So that was exciting in LA, but it doesn't happen all the time.
But you've met a lot of famous people through Gatorland and Gatorland Global, and like doing, and even before that, like when you were working on, where were you working before that?
Oh, at the reptile zoo out in California. Yeah.
I mean, like, you've had a lot of opportunities to be around, like, super famous people that are intrigued by reptiles.
Well, it also helps that you've got a unique look and voice that I'm sure people recognize, right? Because that also, like,
True.
Like,
you stand out.
And I want to ask you about Australia and, like, Steve Irwin and what the, like, Irwin empire is down there, because I'm sure you have some reference.
You have to be careful with that.
You're talking about Big Gator now.
I don't know.
What is that? Is that considered like
I
don't know. The eyeballs.
I'm just trying not to get sued. That's
I never positive vibes only, just like Tom the Mime.
What's funny? Me and Daniel have never worried about getting sued.
You know why? Because we have nothing. We have nothing to lose.
People, like, I don't want to get insurance. That really prevents me from getting sued, because if you have nothing, no one will sue you.
Yeah, but we have insurance, so they're going to sue us because we always get event insurance. So yeah, we know they're going to do it.
You'll notice when we get rich, we'll stop talking a lot of shit.
That's true. But
that is long gone. We can never get rich now, so we'll keep talking shit. But, so back to Steve Irwin, and he was pretty normal looking, which probably hurt his famousness.
He had a big personality.
I don't think he was doing that. Big personality, but I guess you could. He was so famous, you could recognize Steve Irwin, but it's not like he I don't know, stuck out. I guess his uniform. He always wore. I guess
he didn't have a gimmick like Billy the Exterminator. Remember Billy the Exterminator? Yeah, that guy. Yeah. He had the crazy hair. Like, I feel like the hat. But you already you're 6 foot tall. You got long blonde hair. I kind of feel like you got cool tattoos.
Yeah. It's all part of it.
You look like. I kind of feel like there's a rock and roll kind of a country
Yeah.
rock kind of a thing going on
Yeah.
here, like where you have like
A natural entertainer too, which a lot
she can
of
present things in a way that isn't boring.
So let's go back to South Carolina.
Yeah.
You grew up in South Carolina,
Right?
And then what? Even it's funny.
Was
because
I remembering correctly? Did your dad work on NASCARs?
Yeah, no. So my dad was
that
a
right?
race. He built late model stock cars
Hell
for
yeah.
dirt tracks when I was growing up. So I spent a lot of time at the racetrack, and like he had worked with like Richard Petty and like all of those people. So and he built one of the very first monster trucks ever. My dad did.
This is the story I was
called
trying
the
to remember.
Carolina Crusher.
Carolina Crusher.
I'm familiar with the
Yes.
Carolina Crusher.
So it was like Carolina Crusher, Bigfoot,
Yeah.
Bigfoot,
Yeah.
and then Gravedigger. I think they were like maybe three. So
Well, this is before though the big conglomerate
Yeah.
bought them all up.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
these are all independent race shops.
Yeah.
That's what made this cool. Is that your dad was like one of like 3 guys,
Yeah.
4 guys that were doing
Building monster
things
trucks.
that people were not doing. Like this
Right.
was this was like, what you're doing? What?
Yeah, it was like in the time that like they didn't even have tires that big, right?
Yeah, they
so
get
they were
a
like, "How
tractor."
you think we're gonna get these tires made?" I don't know. I know a boy, right? Like that whole, like,
Yeah, we got some guys.
yeah, exactly.
And they use the chassis of actual trucks, and then they'd
Uh-huh.
have to modify them. Like that was because now they're every bit of it is custom. But
yeah.
like,
Well, do you remember like going and like what do you like? You walk into a race shop and your dad's in there. What's he doing? Like, is he like?
Welding, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Like always something different. I liked going to the races. It was a lot of fun. I mean, dirt track's different than like,
Yes.
other tracks, but yeah, like I grew up most of my life there. When I smell diesel fuel, I'm like, that smells like home.
Yeah.
So
I remember my dad was a diesel mechanic, and then the soap he used to it was like gritty soap, like
Yeah,
Gojo.
yeah.
That's what I remember.
and you had to do it like that, and it felt like dirt was in it.
He smelled like that and Budweiser. I remember.
There are worse smells, I would say. There are worse smells out there. Like the smell of neglect, I would say, and you guys didn't have that. That's cool.
So, did you always want to become an entertainer growing up?
I feel like, I know for sure I always wanted to get out of South Carolina.
No.
And,
Too small,
there
too
were
little,
there were different methods to that. Like getting out of South Carolina is probably the most difficult thing in the world for anyone to do. So, like, I was in pageants when I was really young, which I was not. I was a very shy kid, right? And I think that, like, at some point in my life, I just got to the point where I was like, well, I'm not going to be shy anymore. I'm just going to be too loud, and then everybody that bothers me is going to go away. So that was a transformation I made.
Okay.
But when I would, like, I see these pictures when I used to do pageants, and I'm just like this. Not interested, not happy, so not wanting to
There's
be a
no
part
spark
of it.
there, yeah.
I mean, going back, like I can see where it helped me, create a personality. But like, in the South, that's what you do. So pageants, then I took voice lessons, and I took piano lessons, and I took dancing lessons. Like anything was gonna get me out of South Carolina. But there's also not a job in my town that you could save enough money to get out of South Carolina. So I think I started running away probably when I was like, I ran away to Florida when I was 16.
Really?
And I was like,
How long
I'm
were
going
you
to Florida.
gone?
I'm going to be Cinderella. Got a Greyhound bus ticket. Came all the way down here.
Yeah.
Knew some friends that lived out by Disney. Tried to get a job. Didn't work out. Cinderella is shorter than me. Who knew that?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also Disney doesn't hire runaway teens. So that
Interesting.
project didn't work out. But now I'm the queen of all alligators and crocodiles. So I'll
Yeah.
Well, the balls to run away at 16 to go
wild.
out of your state. Like,
Alone by
it is a
yourself?
different
Yeah.
time.
So you're just sitting on a bus as a 16-year-old girl just riding to Florida.
Uh-huh.
What are you doing to kill time? Just looking out the window?
I mean, I guess that's what I did. I don't remember that much about it. I remember I made it to Florida and I was like, paradise.
Yeah.
I'm in paradise.
It also
Different time.
That was when I met Billy Idol. Don't you remember that story?
No, let's break it wide open. I forget this story. You met Billy Idol as a 16-year-old in Florida? That checks
At
out.
what used to be downtown Disney? Like,
Yeah.
wasn't it called something else?
Pleasure Island.
Pleasure Island. before
Pleasure
that.
Island.
Yeah.
Here I am, 16 years old, walking around. All of a sudden, someone comes out of nowhere, and I'm like,
Hello,
whoa,
White?
that's Billy Idol. And he walks up and he sings White Wedding to me, and he gets down on his knee, and I'm like so in love, and I'm like, this is the rest of my life.
I love
And he's like,
16-year-old
how
girls.
old are you?
I'm Billy Idol.
How old are you? And I'm like 21. And he's like, oh, okay. So we went out and partied downtown Orlando.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
Billy Idol partied with a runaway team.
He didn't know. He had no idea.
Well, you must have had a little idea. It was like, ooh, like this. Yeah, she said she's 21. I don't know.
I don't know. You want to check her ID, Billy? No need. No need.
No, but like
I
it
take the
wasn't.
girl and I'll do it with.
We didn't do anything crazy, and it was
No, no.
nothing like
No,
sexual.
you're not that-
but
no.
but like we threw down
Party.
downtown
That's
Orlando.
hilarious.
Party.
Yeah, and it was like all grown ups, and then 16-year-old me, fresh off the turnip truck. Like just acting like I knew what I was doing, like
Confidence.
acting like I knew how to drink good. I don't even remember. He was probably like, "What do you drink?" And I think I was like a Tom Collins, like because I had heard that somewhere. I don't even know what it
Strong
was.
drink
It's like what an old golfer would do. Give me a Tom Collins, you know? Yeah.
Scotch.
Give me a
I don't even know what's in it.
I don't know what's in it right now. but
That's absolutely hilarious. You've partied with a lot of famous people, though.
I have.
Because of your personality, I feel like that opens the door because people want to party with you. Like, even if you're not partying, I think people, like, just your energy, I think people see it and then they're like, oh, well, what are we doing next?
Yeah. Like, well,
Bob
so
Saget,
do you
didn't he
remember
party with
when-
you?
Yeah, well, we did hang out, but you remember when Nick Swardson, did he come in here?
Yeah, yeah.
He did.
So you guys wouldn't know this, but when I love Terry from Reno 911.
Okay.
And in my mind, for whatever reason, on that day that he came in, I thought we were already friends in my brain.
Okay, all right.
Right?
You're
And
like, I know Jim. He's my best friend. Jim from the office. You're like, this guy's
and
a
he,
dick. And I'm like,
so we were doing some kind of pizza thing, like on a pizza turnaround thing, and it was like bagel bites versus pizza roll. So I walk in and I see him, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like I don't tell him my name, right? Because I'm assuming we know each other already, which was my first mistake. And then he's like, "Wow, you're really loud. Hey, nice to meet you." And I'm like, "All right, so you eat pizza rolls, right?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "Oh, why would you not eat pizza rolls?" And he was like, "Well, because I'm gluten free and blah blah blah, whatever the stuff he said." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's lame." And he was like, "Also, I'm not at a 5-year-old's birthday party, so why are you asking me these questions?" And I couldn't tell if he was kidding or not. And I was like, "Well, just because I thought you were cool." And he was like, "Just because I don't eat pizza rolls doesn't mean that I'm not cool."
It
And I
lowers
was-
him a little bit in my mind.
And I was like, "Well, I didn't mean it like that." And he was like, "But that's what you just said." And this is while we're walking to the studio. Like, this fight is already happening. And so then I'm like, "All right, we'll just do this little video with me." And he's like, "No, what video?" And I'm like, "We're just going to do a little video when you're going to say whether you like bagel bites or this thing." And he was like, "I don't understand you. What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Nothing. Like, I'm just trying to talk to you." Still have never said, "I'm on the show." Still have never
Or who
said,
you are, yeah.
I like this. I like this.
So then when he finally does come in, like, as soon as someone else is talking to him, he's like, "Oh my God, what is wrong with this thing that just came and got me? And like, what is her purpose here?" So I blew that, right? Blew it. So when after that was TJ Miller,
Yeah,
who
TJ
I
Miller.
love.
Yep, yep.
And so I walked up and I was very official and I was like, "Hello, my name's Savannah, blah, 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 blah." And he was like, "Hello, Savannah, nice to meet you." And we just became really good friends. So I blew it with Nick Swardson. I feel really bad about that. Wish I would have done better, but at the end, I think we were cool, but I'm not quite sure.
I'm sure it was
still.
cool. He seemed like he was just tired on the day.
And I feel like I was really offensive in a way that I didn't mean to be.
No, you were just being you, and I feel like maybe he didn't understand it.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like you've
probably.
always been sort of fun loving, like whenever we'd have somebody when I was even on the Monsters and we'd have somebody famous come in and you and I were working together. I always liked how you would disarm the famous person by they would come in and they were instantly not famous.
Yeah.
It was almost like you'd be like, no, you're on my level now.
Right.
And I like that.
Well,
'cause
and
it
I
made
think
it
that's how it
easier.
is with you guys too. Like anybody that comes in here that's sharing time and space with you, like they're not really an elevated status, right? Like they're sitting on the couch just like I am.
We want to hear the real stuff, you know?
And I'm sure you met a lot of powerful people, a lot of celebrities, and we've too met a lot of people that are famous or rich in one way or the other, and then you realize like everybody's just a human being.
Yeah, they
and
are.
he's all the same, and it's like some people are smarter than others. Some and there's all different people, but they're just people.
Yep.
And really like that's it. It's like rarely do you find someone that's like so bizarrely not a human being that it's like, and then those it's like you just never encounter.
I don't think we've ever had that in here, have we?
No, because usually they're entertainers, and there's no way to do I think there's probably people behind the scenes that are like insanely smart, that like those saturation divers that are on that documentary.
Oh, right.
Where it's like they're like, oh, these guys are human computers. Like they have no emotion.
I don't think they're going to be outgoing enough to ever show you
entertainers.
That. You'll never see that.
Okay.
Well, and I will tell you that in my field of wildlife influencing, I know that's what it says on my website. In my field, like, so you got to think that a person like me, just like the example I just gave you, a person like me coming into a meeting with a bunch of scientists and PhDs and researchers and things like that, like we're not at all on the same entertainment level, right?
Yeah.
Like I like to entertain people. If I'm gonna do a talk, it's gonna be funny. There's gonna be emotion in it. Like I'm gonna plan it out. And I'm looking for feedback from the crowd. Well, those people don't give you feedback. Unless it's like a golf clap.
Yeah.
And so then when I'm doing presentations like that, I'm always like, what's wrong with these people? Why won't they say anything? Like, why like, aren't they, and I did improv too. So like I'm trying to, and then I'll finally just like sometimes I'll be, so the last one I did was in Australia.
Okay.
And it's all the best scientists and PhDs that work with crocodiles in the world.
Wow.
So, like, when I tell you, it's like top level. No, I wasn't nervous because I know that the majority of them don't like me anyway, so I don't care. So,
why don't they like you?
it's the whole entertainment thing.
Are you too fun for them?
I don't know, but anyway, so I went up and it was supposed to be a talk given by my friend Joe, who is a wildlife biologist and is very, very good at his job.
Oh, you yanked the rug.
No, he couldn't be there.
Oh,
he was stuck in India. So I walked up and I was like, it said, next coming, Joe Wazlewski. And I walked up and I was like, obviously I'm not Joe. And I expect a laugh, right? But there's no laugh. And I'm like, but what I am is a social media influencer and the only one in the Crocodile Specialist group. So before we even start this talk, I'm going to need you guys all to stand up and we're going to take a selfie together. And I can hear them like grumbling. I'm a goddamn scientist.
Who does he think I am, Billy Idol?
What you just said is exactly what I heard from the stage. But then I just kind of stood there until they all stood up and I wouldn't talk anymore. And then they were finally like, well, then they all got up and they did the selfie. And I was like, so now I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to do this talk for Joe because I'm very familiar with it, but I don't talk like Joe does and I don't talk like y'all do. So please catch on if you can.
Yeah.
Here's this and this is why, and I did the whole thing and it was great. And I'd given a GoPro to my friend
and the
to record.
message is the same.
And then I get down and I'm like, where's the video? And like the last thing I said was, it's already filming, just hold it. But then she hit the button to didn't film anything. That was like my big debut too.
Oh my God.
So let's take a break.
We do have to take one.
And then when we come back from break, I want to talk about Gatorland Global and all your travels because you've traveled the world.
Yeah.
And then you brought up like the I guess the difference between science and art mixed together, because you're doing that, and even when they sent people up to space, like NASA knew they needed to send artists to describe what space looked like and what it was like looking back at the Earth and stuff, because the damn astronauts
I don't know what to tell you.
were too on the spectrum and smart to ever describe.
Stop bothering me. You have to go up there yourself.
We need artists to describe the science to us normos
Yes.
out there.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
then us normals can understand it.
Because
and be
there's a
entertained.
disconnect
Yes.
there, and
Yeah.
you're so point on. As a matter of fact, I'm about to do another presentation in a couple weeks to the same group of people, and that's my job. I'm the liaison between the scientific community, the zoo community, and the general public.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if the general public doesn't care about what you're doing and you're not telling them, then you're not making any progress.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It's a fool's errand at that point.
And how are you going to get people to care about the conservation of animals unless you
Show them.
you
And
know,
get them excited
are
about it,
engaged,
right?
you
Yeah, and
engage
I love
them.
crocodiles, but I can't read all y'all's papers because I can't be Googling every other word. Like, somebody's got to
Yeah.
talk like a normal person.
Sure.
Yeah, and guess what? No one's reading the papers. We're watching Savannah on Reels.
Yeah.
Again, that's how we're getting.
Have you been outside of your laboratory to see what we're doing? I mean, I'm watching her. My favorite video is the one that blew me off the couch where she put her hat on a dummy and then let the gators go crazy. I thought you were being murdered.
That was a good one.
Like, I do have my glasses. You can't be doing that, man. Okay, let's take our break. I played this for you. This is Susie Moon. The name of the song is Crazy Girl.
right.
We'll be right back with more A Mediocre Time momentarily. 1-844-TOMNDAN if you want to talk to Savannah. And show at TomandAn.com if you... Show at TomandAn.com if you have a last-minute email. We will be right back.
Modern Plumbing Industries, modernpi.com is the plumbing company you need to use if you have any problems. If you need something built, like they came by and built my outdoor shower by my pool.
You guys
Because
use that all the time, right?
Yeah. And because now it has hot and cold water, they ran the plumbing with these really cool
you think you're better than me,
copper
don't you?
pipes.
Hot and cold water. You know you put hot water out there.
Yeah, well, that's why I got that.
Luxury, man. Wow.
If it's just cold, you use a hose.
Oh, my
but
God. You can make love to your wife out there if you want to. That's amazing.
They can do custom jobs like that. Of course, water heaters.
The standards.
Yeah,
if
toilet
you
problems.
need a new toilet,
replumbs.
you need a new issue. You got some roots. You need the camera down in there. I mean, they can do all of that.
Yeah.
And if you're residential, if you're industrial,
commercial,
they can do all of that.
Yeah.
Family owned and operated. Very, very long time, and all the counties are covered.
And the best part is you can get 10% off just by mentioning Tom and Dan.
Yep.
So when you go to modernpi.com, when you call them up, just say, hey, I heard you from Tom and Dan. I heard there's a 10% off, and then 10% off any of your service, your problem. And
they're just good people. I like working with them. And when we get to hang out with them at events, their whole staff is sweet. And they're like just, that family company that's been around for forever. And they're just cool. I like these guys. It's Modern PI, Modern Plumbing, modernpi.com. I wonder if this band's name is a play on Ben Stiller. The name of the band is Ben Stellar, but like Ben, like I've been stellar.
Okay.
Name of the song is Breakaway. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom, and Savannah's on the couch with us.
Hey!
So, Savannah.
Sorry.
Gatorland Global, how many different places have you been around the world now? And I want to hear some stories from
Australia, Jamaica,
that's very
Cuba,
demanding.
Belize, Australia, Jamaica, Cuba, Belize, Mexico. I haven't been to India yet. 2 times I was supposed to go to India, and both times got canceled because of COVID. I was supposed to do a TED Talk at the University of New Delhi.
What do you mean? They got COVID in India. I'm sure of
It got canceled because of COVID. And then I was supposed to do something at Madras Crocodile Bank over there, and then that got canceled. But no one ever talks about my trip to South Africa. And I did some really cool stuff in South Africa.
Well, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
It's not alligator and crocodile related.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
we are not alligator and crocodile.
I'll talk about anything.
Yeah, I mean, like if you went there to literally kill one of your enemies, I want to hear about it.
No, I went to my friend Dingo, who has since passed away. His name is Dingo Dinkelman. Yeah, he got bit by a snake and ended up passing away. And
I heard of that story.
Yeah. He was a great friend of mine. His family's a lovely family, and they were building a wildlife park. So we went to...
Oh, my God, I heard this story. I am so sorry. That is really sad.
So went to South Africa. I dehorned a rhino. I participated in a rhino dehorning, which was amazing.
Okay, explain to everybody what that is.
So rhino horn, for like a teeny tiny bit of rhino horn, is worth like millions of dollars, right? Because people in some cultures believe that a rhino horn can cure diseases, but it can't. Because a rhino horn is just like your fingernails. Like, it's the same thing.
it's just
It's made of the same thing.
Yeah.
We've talked about this a lot in our show with why these things continue to happen. Like, you know, with
A lot of it's
with the tiger penis and all these things, like these ancient remedies are supposed to. And
that's my Xbox gamer tag, by the way. If you want to play with me, just at tiger penis.
But it's like, so people take them because they think they have these powers, and then guess what? It doesn't do it.
No.
Because it's impossible to have that power.
Right.
But it still perpetuates itself and still.
You know why?
Why?
Because a lot of these diseases, and I'll tread lightly, but a lot of them are like either fatal or have to do with your virility or your weenie. And I think those things are so personal to people that you will literally try anything. And if that means it doesn't work, but I'll kill that rhino, I'll do it.
And it's like placebo, maybe?
Yeah.
Like every once in a while, someone will live because randomly you do live of like cancer or something. And they're like, hey, it worked, the rhino. Anyway,
some of the Liver King people, like they say they work.
So I understand you dehorned it to keep poachers from killing it.
Right.
Yeah,
So at the preserves that we went to, they have programs for that. So it was super cool. Wow. So we're in the safari vehicle on the ground, right? With a couple veterinarians and the rest of the team. And then the veterinarian is in a helicopter, right? Whoa. So the helicopter flies.
That's way cooler than my veterinarian.
Till they find.
You know what I mean? If you're the vet in South Africa in a helicopter, that's coolest vet.
Here's how it's even cooler. So the veterinarian is also the rifleman with the tranquilizer, right? Whoa. So the veterinarian shoots the rhino from the air with the tranquilizer. Then he does a circle in the helicopter. Then we run to the spot, right? Because if the rhino falls down and we're not there, it could get hurt. Lions are everywhere. Lions could for sure attack.
Didn't even think of that.
So we go there and we all jump out together, and then the rhino's getting groggy, right? We see him getting groggy. And then as when he starts to fall, right, everybody runs, right? And then we all like keep him from just falling flat out, right? Because he could break a bone or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So hold on,
run, he's falling. So you run to the rhino.
This is insane. No one has this experience.
So you have to feel like, I guess you're going to know
it's
through
a whole
experience.
bunch of people. It's like 20 people probably.
Yeah. Okay. So you know which way he's going to kind of go.
Yeah, you can see him kind of sit.
But also the rhino could be like, just joking, I'm on there. And go crazy, right?
Hold on, I don't think rhino could go. I just want to correct him. Yeah. I don't think rhino could go, just joking, and then start killing everyone. No, I'm down for that movie.
No, I'm just saying it starts to get groggy, but then to see a bunch of humans rushing it, and then it gets an adrenaline burst and starts rhino crazy.
From fear.
Yeah.
These people do it all the time, so they have the timing down, right? Like they can base like
you're trusting them with your life, right? Like they stomp you to death.
The weight of the rhino versus how much tranquilizer was there. Blah,
what do they weigh? What do they weigh?
A lot.
Yeah,
a lot. So we keep the rhino from falling flat out, and they do it where there's a lot of bush around and there's clearing. So the rhino has to fall where there's a lot of bushes to kind of cushion the fall a little bit. And then also, as we're jumping out, there are wild lions everywhere, right? So we have to be in a spot that's clear enough that the helicopter pilot can see around in a circle to make sure we don't all jump out and the lions don't come eat us.
Hold on. First of all, I wrote down a rhino bush.
It's funny. I was typing it in my phone.
Second, so the helicopter's watching for potential other predators.
Yes.
That may sense that there's a rhino down, and they're not scared away by the humans. Like they could, because I guess they're all dying of starvation, right?
Well, they make a circle with some of the people to keep an eye out on the ground, and then the helicopter obviously is above, keeping an eye on, because they can see more from a helicopter and things like that. So once the rhino lays down, another vet comes in, they check his breathing, make sure, everything's okay. We put earmuffs on him. Earmuffs on the
my
rhino.
God, like a kid at Monster Jam.
Yeah.
You got to put earmuffs on every child at Monster Jam. Has earmuffs. You know, this is why we are a weaker society. I have to say what I have to say. If you go to Monster Jam and you put earmuffs on your son or daughter, that's why the U.S. is weak. That's why we're weak.
Yeah.
You're the reason we're weak. I went to Monster Jam, my ears the next day ringing like I needed to go to the doctor.
Savannah's dad built a monster truck, no muffs.
Yeah. How many monster trucks did you hear? No earmuffs. And you're
No, never.
Yeah.
So are they giant, like homemade rhino muffs? Like did someone like what are they made out of?
You don't just swing over to Guitar Center and pick up, your.
Are they like frisbees with, or they're bigger than frisbees?
No,
right?
they're really padded, but it like kind of like your headphones, right? So it's kind of like this because rhino ears are very teeny.
Were you there when we had
Were you there
when we had the big fat intern that was big enough to wear rhino muffs? Chongas Pugamongas. We have an intern that was his head was as big as a rhino head.
It just dawned on me. I have no idea. I have visually no idea what a rhino ear
Rhino
looks like.
ears are
They're
small.
so cute. They're cute.
Are they small like a human?
Yeah,
ear?
no. They're little,
They're like
a
little ears.
They're like little. They look like little leaves that have been folded
Yeah.
over. They're
Like-
cute.
like a
That's the
hippo
only-
ears, like-
kind
No,
of.
hippo ears are more rounded, I think, than rhino
I'm
ears.
gonna show you.
Okay, bring up a rhino ear. I gotta see them because, like, I can't even visualize a rhino ear.
Yeah, see, they're. I described it perfectly.
Did you
It's
show
coiled.
it? I can't see it.
It's right here behind me. It's coiled. Like
Yeah.
it's like a little.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
little.
yeah.
So they put things. It's like our headphones, but there's like cloth that goes in the ear spot, right?
Okay, all right. Is that so that they don't hear you and then get startled
well,
awake?
I'll tell you how they do it with a chainsaw, and that's why we put the earphones in. So, because that could be traumatic. We also put eye blinders on them so they can't see what's happening because obviously that would be traumatic too. So the rhino goes to sleep with the earmuffs and a blinder on, right? So it can't see all these people around because that's stressful. And then they
There's
take
a picture of it.
And then they take a chainsaw and they chainsaw off and they get it as low as they can get it, right? Because any little teeny piece of it is worth millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So they take it off. They do some health checks, things like that. And then we spray like antiseptic on it, which is that purple stuff you see in that photo. Spray antiseptic on it. And then once everyone is like, we're done with the thing, they take the rhino horns and they put them into a bag and they're tagged with the same tag for the rhino. So they have somewhere in the world is this place that has every dehorned horn from every rhino. No one knows where it is.
The Hall of Horns. It's the Hall of Horns. We gotta find it. This is a movie.
You can't find it.
This is a movie.
What if it's off the grid?
What if the world's greatest villain tried to find the Hall of Horns
let's
to steal
say-
it?
How much money is it worth? It's like
billions of dollars.
Well,
if somebody broke into the Rhino Horn Hall of
So
Fame.
the Fort Knox of horns.
Yeah.
There's some
So
horn knocks.
let's say, for instance, I would have taken a little piece that broke off and put it in my pocket, right? Let's say, for instance, and of
shit.
course
Don't
I
do
didn't,
that. Yeah, yeah.
but let's
Don't
say,
do
for
that.
instance, so if I would have gotten stopped at the airport, right, and they would have found that teeny tiny piece of rhino horn in my pocket or something like that, they can trace it back to the rhino it came from, and they use all those other rhinos in the in the Horn Hall of Fame to to find out exactly where the rhino came from, where the person was, who was around when it was dehorned, all of that information they have. And that's how you go straight to jail forever.
Well, let me just tell you that it's not going to be in my pocket. You know where it's going to be. You know where I'm hiding that
Everybody
piece.
knows where my horn is. Yeah. And I'll say
You're
it like
not gonna
this.
find it.
I have my own hall.
Okay, so
And I will place that horn in my own hall, my own, the longest hall in my body.
So, Savannah, going back to this, so the rhino, you keep it from falling over, and you put earmuffs, blindfold.
You chainsaw it off.
Someone chainsaw it
Close as you can. Then you antiseptic. You purple him up so he's all sealed up. How long does it take for him to wake up?
South Africa. So this is on some sort of preserve. And
it's called Zululand Rhino. Well, no, it's called Zululand is what it's called. That's an area of South Africa.
Yeah.
And there's lots of, there's all kinds of crazy wildlife out out there.
And so it's the stereotypical, like, this is the African safari, all the animals, like, lions, zebras,
Yes.
giraffes, all that. Everything
my.
there. It's crazy. And so then what else, like, so you're a part of that, and what
And
else
we
did you do
donated
out there?
money to them, Gatorland Global, before it was
Okay.
officially Gatorland Global. We donated money to them for that procedure, right? So I don't remember how much money we gave them, but we sent them money to dehorn 2 rhinos. We only participated in one, but then they also had enough money to do another one.
Cool.
Thanks to what we donated.
Will it grow back?
Yes.
Okay,
They do grow back.
So it's like an antler, or
Yeah, it's like your fingernails.
Yeah.
It's constantly growing,
Is
like
this
your
just
fingernails.
considered like harvesting, and
will-
then you're protecting
will
them
it-
because they become undesirable?
Right.
Will it naturally fall off like an ant, like a deer's antler, or no? That's
No,
a
I
lifetime.
think it just keeps growing. I mean,
Okay.
it might break or something like that, but they don't really use their horns like people think. Like, they're not ramming stuff with their horns. Like, that's not, it's just like, I mean, probably I would think, but I don't know for sure.
Kind of
'cause
like
I'm not-
Morrissey. He's
like
got
a big
one, but he just
rhino
doesn't use
horn
it.
would attract the ladies, I would imagine,
Yeah.
on some level.
Okay, all right.
Like whoever's the biggest
Yeah.
horn.
You ruined my dreams. And I thought they were just horning things all
No.
day, horning trees or whatever. Like they'd horn a random zebra. Just we were like, I got this horn, I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
So
I'm bored. Let's horn.
So I guess then I wonder how long it takes. I mean, I'm sure all this you can Google, but then
You've been telling people that for years.
you just have to chop it off again. So then, what else did you do down there? Like, did
So-
you go on the safari that
So
they
we
do for?
saw all the animals,
Okay.
right? I saw wild dogs.
Whoa.
Like wild dogs. Wild dogs are ruthless.
What,
Like a pack of
Like
wild
the
dogs.
wild dogs with the big round ears.
Oh, yeah.
They'll eat anything. They'll attack anything. Like, they're out of control, wild dogs are. Like, of all the animals there that people said they were most afraid of, it would be the wild dog.
Wild
Really?
dogs.
Like
Yeah.
those are the animal that could like surround you and attack
Yes.
you. Okay.
Yes, and like I guess sometimes when like the impalas or the inyalas, when they're having babies, they'll just surround the animal, and as it's having its baby, they'll just eat it as it's coming out.
oh my god.
Wild dogs are gnarly.
Yeah, wild dogs go hard as hell. Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
They're
And-
way tougher than Dansby.
My God. I don't think my West Highland Terrier can do that.
Hey, what
Yeah.
if you put Dansby out
We
with a pack
shaved
of
his
wild-
balls. We accidentally shaved his balls too close, and now every afternoon I have to put a steroid powder on his balls. It's a steroid powder. I have to put rubber gloves on. I have to powder his balls. He's crying.
I
My
imagine-
little pee-pee dog, I love him so much.
Imagine
He's
if
my
the
best
wild dog saw that, they'd
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, it's not my dog."
friend. Yeah, they're like, I won't even eat that thing. It's too weak.
So
We also, so I guess, okay, so every lion that I came across, and we were on a 3-day safari, every lion that we came across was actively having sex.
really,
Lions must have more sex than any animal in the animal kingdom. like we would just pull up, and it would just be lions having sex. Everywhere we went, every corner you turned, every time we stopped, we'd be like, oh, there's lions having sex again. Oh, there's more lions having sex again.
Like secret
that's all
hideaway
lions
out
do.
there.
Interesting. I wonder if it's just like they're just. I mean, probably all animals, right? Or like you're around animals.
I don't know,
Is there
man.
more than
I don't know about lions, man. I don't think I've ever, like, and they're wild animals too, like, but every time we saw a lion, it was actively having sex.
They do have like a harem of
Yes.
of female lions around.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like David,
Not a bad way to live. Just
Dave-
walking around.
David Koresh wasn't singing Santeria for nothing. Like he
Oh,
was
yeah,
banging
yeah, yeah.
your wife. And there's a
And
whole harem.
possibly your daughter. You know,
yeah,
like,
there's
yeah.
all. But so that's interesting. I never, you never really see that.
Robert in our chat room, and I don't know how much information these knuckleheads in our chat room have, but I like what Robert's saying. He said, he actually just got back from a safari. He said that lions have sex every 15 minutes for like 2 straight weeks.
I don't doubt it.
Crazy.
He saw that in safari in
Based
Kenya.
on what I saw, I will have to agree with
I
him.
forgot Robert went on safari and just got back like a month or so ago. Interesting.
So
God.
we had to give 3 or 4 lionesses contraceptives at a different preserve. So what happens is, so you want to go to South Africa.
How do you
wanna
do that? You just roll
you wanna
up, or
go
they're-
on these safaris, right?
Yeah.
Well, lions reproduce so quickly and rapidly that they'll stop eating like the small things and they'll start taking down the big things like giraffes. And that's why people want to come see giraffes. Like how awesome are giraffes? Like nobody wants to see a giraffe get attacked by lions. Like it's nature. It happens. So on this one preserve we were at, we had to give contraceptives to the lionesses.
I ain't using no condoms.
So, because they were producing at such a rapid rate, they had just taken down a giraffe. So they don't want them to eat the giraffes, obviously.
Yeah,
That's got to be, by the way, just pause for a second. Lions taking down giraffe has to be, that's going to be bad. That's like a corn, that's like laying down an ear of corn, I feel like. There's a lot of biting surface there, you know what I mean?
Also, I would
Well, I don't
think
wanna see
hard just because a giraffe is so big of an animal that one kick could probably kill a
Don't
lion, right?
they use those nubbies on the top of their head? Wow,
They'll
it'll whip
whip
ya.
their
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of lions to take down a full-grown giraffe. I think these had
That
just
was like me
eaten
at T's and
a
Q's back in the
baby.
day.
Oh, yeah.
These had
They'll
just
eat a
eaten
baby.
a smaller giraffe. So in order to get, oh my gosh, this was so crazy because I was with some really, really like hardcore vegan people, which I am not, and like a little bit on the hippie side, right? So something's going to die on the preserve every day because the lions are going to eat, right?
Yeah.
You're also
Now-
a conservationist, too. I mean, you've seen these things and you work around nature and life.
Yeah, so it's going to eat something, right?
Yeah.
So the way that they had to get an injured zebra, right? It's because first you have to tranquilize the lions, right? And that's what the vet does with like the gun, right?
Oh, wow.
So in order to get the lions to come from where they're at, they needed something to chase, which ended up being hurt zebra, right?
Okay.
So hurt zebra is behind said truck on safari, right?
I've not heard that bad.
No. When I say behind, I mean not standing.
Oh, he's real
And
hurt.
so they have to gut said zebra
Wow.
because that's
Yep.
the smell, right?
Yep.
That's the smell the lions come for. So we're driving in this big safari vehicle with a zebra pulling it, right? And its insides are coming on the outside, right? And there's lions coming from everywhere. Like, I'm telling you, like, it was I know they're
crazy.
crying. Lions are coming from everywhere.
So you're dragging a zebra that's being disemboweled as you drag it.
Yeah.
And then the lions are coming out of the bush like, oh, look at that. And then
it's like they open up the tickets for Metallica Snake Pit. Everybody's coming out. We got to get them Snake Pit tickets.
Is there any concern about lions attacking the humans? Like, are people armed just in case? Or
So the
how does that work?
big vehicles out there are out there all the time. So the lions don't see them. As long as you keep your arms and legs inside, they see that vehicle as one unit, right? Like they're not going to come in and try to grab one person.
Yeah, gotcha.
And
Okay.
especially when there's a delicious zebra behind the truck.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
yeah.
they come for the zebra.
It's like covering yourself in zombie guts so the other zombies don't smell you. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And so then we have to switch out cars, right? Kind of moving and get into this other one. So the two people can take the zebra way, way, way far away, and the vet can tranquilize the lions, the 4 lionesses, right? So he does that, and then we're still kind of riding around and we're waiting for them to fall asleep. But we're also surrounded by lionesses who are not about the business of us being where we are. And you can see their eyes, like it looks kind of like when someone's getting drunk, you know, like when their eyes make that change. And then they lay down and they fall asleep. So that's when we jump out. They blindfold them as well, you know, just to keep them calm. And then we had to give them these shots of contraceptives. We had to draw blood from them because they check their blood for different things.
Sure.
And then they wake them back up. So now we're in the car and they're waking up and they're like stumbling, like, you know, kind of drunk, but then they all like come back to life and they got to have a big feast of the rest of the zebra. So that's good. But now they won't be making like however many babies they were making.
Yeah. They're controlling the population.
Yes.
That is a crazy experience.
Is your heart, is there like, is there
not many
are you
people
just
on
chill?
Earth.
Like, I've never told that story because I think it's a really graphic story, but since you guys said anything goes,
Yeah.
like, it's an incredible story.
Are you chill
crazy.
while you're doing it, or are you like just soaking it in? Are you calm?
I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is the crazy. And then the other people are crying. They're like, oh, the poor zebra. And then the guides are trying to explain to them because we're from the U.S. and we think we know everything better than everybody. So they're trying to explain.
I love that feeling.
I'm doing that right now. Everything you say, I think I know better.
Well, I would have done it
They're
differently.
trying to explain to the people that are very upset, like, hey, so something was going to die here today, like whether it was this zebra that was already injured, or whether it was this giraffe, or whether it was a warthog, or whether it was a wildebeest or whatever, right? So yeah, but that was, and then also, I never told anybody this. Also on the trip, your initiation, and this just could be the South Africans being weird, but
they make you put a grape in your butt, and then you gotta run, and if you drop it, you gotta eat the butt grape.
Even worse, we had to find a fresh pile of elephant dung, because there's elephants out there too that could trample you at any moment.
Jesus, Savannah.
And look for a Nokia phone like Jurassic Park.
No, we had to find a fresh elephant poo pile, and then you have to grab the elephant poo, and then you have to drink it. Like
get out of here.
That's what's his name? No. That's a Bear Grylls.
That's the Bear Grylls. No.
And he got parasites, right?
Yes.
He got really sick. Well, I didn't, and I drank the same amount of elephant poo juice.
Hold on. So
you drank a big old poo?
Why is there initiation? We were just like, what is it, a fraternity?
Yeah.
I'm here for animal business.
Well, our guide's name was Wonder Boy.
Now they're just fucking around.
Hello, I am Wonder Boy. First, you must drink this big poo.
Has he heard the Tenacious D song? It'll blow his mind. You're like, oh my God.
So,
what is the secret to my powers?
Wonder Boy made us drink it, and so a lot of people vomited, but I was good.
He made you drink the mucky mark.
You grab it and you squeeze it, but the fresher it is, the better. Right? Because you don't want to eat some dry. You don't want to drink some dried out juice.
If it's been out there and it's been kind of soaking in, if it's been seeping, I'm not into it. I want that freshy fresh.
Are you sure that this is actually the initiation, or did you just want to see if you do it?
I think they might just want to see if Americans do it.
Okay. Did other people do it?
In retrospect.
Or just you?
Did the vegans do it?
No. It was me and like 2 other people did it, and nobody else would do it.
Wait a minute, elephants are vegetarians, right?
Right, so it's not that bad.
So it's okay for the vegans to drink the poo juice.
Also, I would be like, all right, now you have to separate the doo-doo juice people from the non-doo-doo. They have to leave.
Because we're the hardcore.
Yes, you get more snacks, you get more Gatorades or whatever. Yeah, you
get the hell out of here.
Yeah. We won the immunity challenge. You're off. You get voted off.
So you picked up a fresh elephant doo-doo. And then
what color is it?
How much
What
water?
color is it? Brown?
Same as poo.
Like grape. Oh, like doo-doo. Like real doo-doo.
But there's some grass and green in
there's
it, right?
a lot of grass in there. Maybe even some worms here and there.
Oh, Lord
God.
have mercy.
How did you not gag and puke
I
yourself?
did gag.
Okay.
And I my gag reflex certainly went off.
Yeah.
But, it was fine. I did it. And as we're doing it, right, I look down and there's like a death adder on the ground, and I'm like doing it, and then I gag, and then I look at the ground and I'm like, snake!
Oh my God! Imagine you get bit by a death adder
As
with
you're
a
drinking
mouth.
shit juice.
And then you're dead, and you have elephant poo all over you.
But it's gonna fall in your head, right? You're gonna drop it.
That's
I would
an epic way
imagine
to
you're gonna
die.
die pretty quick, right? And Death Adder, it doesn't sound like that just brings the poison when it's at its own speed.
I'm so glad that you guys love these stories.
Yes.
So
Of course
glad
we
I got
do.
to
Yeah.
tell
Who
you.
doesn't love them? If you told this story and someone's like, nah, I don't like it. What the fuck? We're boring stories that everybody else have. You understand the boring stories I sit through are regular Joes telling me about their goddamn trip to fucking wherever. I don't give a shit. Like, I took a cruise.
My daughter told me this morning how she made scrambled eggs. I'm like,
I went to Nassau, Bahamas. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
have you guys ever been to Paradise Island? You ever been there? Ever gambled? No, it's really. You ever been to the water park?
Yeah, took a trip down to Alamarada.
Yeah.
It's an island.
So, also when I was in South Africa, do you guys?
How'd you get rid of the Death Adder?
Oh, the Death Adder just crawled away. We picked it up and made videos with it, and then it just crawled away.
It's content, guys. Grab it. It's content.
Right. It was a baby Death Adder.
Would that kill you in one bite? Okay.
Well, also, we were like 3 hours away from even getting to a car that would go to town.
Yeah.
Like, we're far, far away.
They'll be gutting you and dragging you behind the Jeep. So we get more lions in up. Contraceptive. Here we go again.
The worst was at night. So at night, there was a big bull elephant, and it was nighttime, so we used red lights so it doesn't bother the elephant's eyes. So we're all in the safari vehicle, all the hardcore people, right, that drank the poo. And then a big elephant comes over, big bull elephant, and he's alone, which is already suspicious, right? Like, because elephants aren't hanging out alone.
He's probably dealing drugs.
So he comes over to the vehicle we're in, right? And again, as long as you stay inside, and Wonder Boy's like, everyone be very quiet.
Yeah,
right?
I like this.
So,
I'm invested in these characters too, man.
So then there's one person in the vehicle that's been drinking most of the time. So we're
That'd
all
be
being
me.
very quiet. We're all trying to have our little phones and keep them on silent and get a little video of this elephant who at any point could stomp the whole vehicle, right?
Okay, I was going to ask you, how dangerous is that? A bull
So
elephant?
dangerous.
Okay.
And he was on it. Like if he was this close to my face, it was crazy. And Wonder Boy's like, everyone be very quiet. And then somebody kicked a beer can. And as soon as they kicked the beer can, everybody else was like, "Whoa, who did that?" Like we're all
So we gotta scream.
Right. And then the elephant like puts its head up, and we're all like, "Oh no, this is the time! Like this is gonna be the time we get stomped out, right, by an elephant."
This is it.
And luckily, the elephant didn't do anything, and it kind of turned around and walked away. But when I tell you how close it was, I could feel its breath on my face.
Yeah.
God damn.
No, I don't. I'm
That's
not into that.
insane.
Yeah, I'm not into that. Oh man.
What an awesome experience, though, that nobody else is ever going to have. Like, besides going to a safari, but now you're kind of behind the scenes, too, because I feel like, they know you're from Gatorland. They're showing you a little bit more than they show the average.
Are you surprised at some of the places that you get to go because, like, you're obviously extremely important to Gatorland because you're getting the message out, but then sometimes they're bringing you along into places where they're doing these things. Are you just like, well, why the hell am I here?
Yeah.
Do you ever think that sometimes?
Yeah, I do.
But it is important to have you there to sort of document it. And
you also have the way above normal, obviously, a lot amount of years of animal experience.
Correct.
Too. It's like you're not just social media influencer that kind of know. You work at Gatorland.
You're not the new guy anymore. Is what I mean.
Right.
You've been doing this for a hot minute.
You've worked your way.
But the thing is, I don't know anything about cats, right? Like, if a lion was about to come attack me, I would have no idea.
Right.
Like, I don't know how their bodies move. Like, I mean, I watch our Panthers at Gatorland, and one of them hates me, so I can kind of pick up context clues sometimes.
I'd run zigzag just because that's all I've ever learned. With every animal.
Make yourself as big as possible. I don't know.
They're like, the cat kills you way faster.
So, also on the South Africa trip, I'm so glad I get to tell these stories because, honestly, my audience doesn't like these stories because they're not crocodile stories. So,
that's true. You got to be a little more purist.
If you're not on brand with it, they're like, who cares about rhinos?
Okay, save the story. We're going to take a quick break again just to keep us on track.
You're going to like this one.
And when we come back,
I like the last one.
I want all stories all day.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Because also, I'm just... I love going through a unique experience that's just like soaking in, like, holy shit, I'm sitting in, there's a sleeping wild lion, female lion that they're giving birth control to, and the difference between wild animals and animals in captivity, Savannah, you could tell us, like, totally different. Like, a wild animal that's lived in the wild this whole life, it behaves different than what you're used to. It's like wild,
especially when you're sort of invading its home.
This thing
is kind of going into their territory and messing around.
It's spent its whole life trying not to die, and that's its number one purpose.
Yeah.
And when nothing's easy. Nothing's easy in the wild.
That's what you just said. I think is so important.
Hold on, I'm going to put the camera on him.
I love that. Important questions.
What you just said is the most important thing, right? Wild animals are consistently in fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
All wild animals, right? They're looking for food. They're looking for territory. They're looking to see if they're going to get killed. They're looking for something to sneak up behind them. Like, that's like...
I'm bored.
Our
they don't get a lot of
alligators
that.
are the chillest, right? They're like, phew! At least we don't have to wake up this morning and look for... There's women right there. There's territory right there. And there's food right there. They got it made. Right? And I think people forget that. I think the general population doesn't realize how difficult it is to be a wild animal.
Yeah. So, and then they start looking at wild animals like not even domesticated, but like animals in captivity, and like they're somehow the same. It's like they are
not even close.
Yeah. Their life experience. Think about it.
Yeah.
Where you grow up trying to survive every second, and then you have to reproduce, or you're constantly going to die. There's no food. Yeah. Like, you don't know if you're going to be alive in the next minute.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a I tell Chris all the time, I'm like, birds outside, they're tough as hell.
Yeah.
Like, birds are tough.
They have to be. Like, we took in a rescue alligator not too long ago. Literally, she was in the park for 30 minutes, and I was filming something beside this baby bird nest, and the birds got all wild because the mom flew in and was feeding them, right? Baby birding them. And usually when an alligator comes, it'll be like a couple weeks before we see it again. Well, because she had just come in that morning, she was on point, right? So I'm sitting there trying to film something. I hear the bird squawking. I'm like, well, we're going to have to wait a minute until the bird stops squawking. And I turn around, and it's her, the new girl, and her head's just like this, and the nest is up there, and I'm like, oh, no. And, like, the birds are all like, rah, rah, doing their thing, about to fall out of the nest because they can't fly yet. And she sees that they can't fly yet, and she's like, oh, this is all mine. And she jumps from the water all the way into the top of the tree and barely missed both birds.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, homegirl is on point.
Yeah, that's
Like,
wild.
Yeah, that's
That's
because
a
she
wild
doesn't
gator.
know when she's ever going to eat again. Like when I say she jumped my height and more, like she was in the tree. In the tree.
Yeah. And what are you doing for this? That's just tail action? That's just straight swimming?
Tail action.
Yeah, I'm shooting for the tree, and I'm going to pop out of this water, and this is going to be my foods.
It also reminds me how tough wild humans used to be, or must have been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
we are marshmallows.
we're so soft.
We are so soft.
It's incredibly soft.
I'm touching my belly right now. Very soft.
Like the people who just lived like wild animals, like you didn't know when you were going to die every day in survival. Like that's a crazy way to live. Anyway, all right, let's take a break. When we come back, I want to hear this next Savannah story.
Yeah, we'll
again,
give some up.
And Savannah mentioned it. Vote for Gatorland to be best theme park at the Orlando Weekly Awards.
Yeah, in the Orlando Weekly, you can do a lot of good by going there, and let's try to dethrone some of the bigger parks and get.
Just give it to us 1 year. I'll never ask again.
Because all you need is one plaque.
Yeah, just let us win best theme park in Orlando one time.
I love it. The name of the band is This is Home. Home is Where. The name of the song is Bike Week. We will be right back with more Savannah on A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this. If you are injured on the go, you got to call. That's Mo DeWitt, our buddy, injury attorney.
JustCallMo.com is the website, but if you are injured, Mo DeWitt is super knowledgeable. He will help you throughout the entire process, and he's helped a lot of our listeners. And also, he puts on these great free events. I would become a VIP because he's constantly doing free dinners, all these different events,
free getaways to like theme parks,
giving away free stuff, free merchandise.
He's giving a cruise to a well-deserved teacher now. Like teachers get such a bad rap, and Mo is sending a teacher on a dream vacation. He does
motorcycles.
Cool he does cool stuff in the community. But I mean, more than that, if you are injured, if you need an attorney, like Mo can really help you out.
We're also doing a big event at Cimarron Skateway on July 12th. From 5 to 7, you can go to justcallmo.com/skate to sign up. So we're going to all be out there. Bring your family. It's a family-friendly event.
Yeah, bring grandma, bring all the kiddos.
But Mo's renting Cimarron Skateway out for 2 hours for all of us to enjoy. Yep. And that's the kind of things that Mo does. Like, obviously, all his VIP members got the invitation. So that's another reason to sign up to become a VIP member of Mo. So it's free to do it. You get a metal card saying you're a member.
Yeah. And then he just starts inviting you to dinner. That's how it works. He's just
it's all free.
Yeah, once you get the metal card, he's like, hey, come eat chicken parm on me. I'm okay, Mo, that's what you want to do, buddy.
It's our buddy at justcallmo.com.
Like dangerous. Hey, we are back. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
On the couch with us is Savannah.
Oh my gosh, we're having so much fun.
All right, because you started showing me some pictures of the lion that they put like some sort of muzzle so that it did wake up immediately.
Yeah.
It couldn't
get his mouth open.
Yeah, because they would bite you and kill you.
That's just a Kong Ultra. Is all it is.
Yeah.
And they get you by the neck, they get you good.
If they get me by the neck, they get me by the whole body. I feel like. I'm gone.
There's an animal in South Africa called, you know what an impala is, right?
I've heard the song.
It's like a deer.
Tom's thinking more Snoop Dogg. It doesn't have 50-inch rims. It's got the horns.
Yeah. So there's also one called an inyala.
Okay.
So there was an Inyala at the place we were staying.
It's like a Lickalotopus and a Megasaurus.
So we get there. I'm putting all my laundry in. I'm putting all my stuff in my room. I close the door. And I hear something at the door. And I'm like, who's shaking my door? So I walk to the door. I open up the door. And there's this gigantic deer thing with huge, gigantic horns standing outside the door. And I'm like, And then it tries to...
You could just stop right there. Just like your reaction. You open it, there's an Impala sitting there in Inyala, and you're like, baby.
No, because it tried to come in. And I was like, what the hell? Like, what is this thing? And why is it trying to get in my room? Because I've seen too many deer videos where they tear through somebody's house.
Oh, they go crazy in there.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So,
they're hoofing it crazy.
They're stomping someone's microwave.
It tries to come in and then it can't. But I just closed the door. So when I closed the door, it got mad and then it starts hitting the door again.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck is going on?
They got a temper. They want in.
And then it kind of went away for a while. So I went outside and I was just, filming some content, and I'm laying in the grass out there, which was the number one mistake because I ended up getting African tick bite fever. But I was laying in the grass.
Oh, wait, hold a minute. I know African fever, but I don't know African tick bite fever.
So you laid in the grass and you end up getting African tick?
Because I laid in the grass, and then this same Inyala came and decided it was going to lay down next to me. And when I say next to me, it would be like when your dog comes and lays down next to you, and I'm like, whoa, why does this thing keep coming over to me? Like, what's wrong with it, right? Like, something must be wrong. Maybe it's got rabies. I don't know. But, I'm laying in the grass, and then now it's here with me, and I'm scared to make any moves because it could just gore me completely if it got mad.
Have you had any moment where you weren't going to die? I'm just wondering. This is a lot of I'm going to die.
So I get up, and I go inside, and
Do you have to get up slowly?
I talk to my friends, and they're like, oh, well, so the Inyala was abandoned by its mother, so it grew up here, and when it goes into heat, it doesn't seek the company of other Inyalas. It likes to be around humans when it's in heat, right?
Really?
And I'm like, what the heck? That doesn't even make sense.
So it's like domesticated almost.
Almost.
Okay.
So then the next morning, and I don't want anything to do with it because it's covered in ticks. That's the thing. That's where it got back to the tick bite fever. It's covered in ticks. So the next morning I wake up and I'm in the shower, and I come out of the shower and the Inyala is in my bed because the kids down the hall opened up my room.
I've done that move before. Lady comes out of the shower. I'm in their bed. I've done that move before. It used to work.
Maybe they'll be too lazy to tell me to get out.
That's called the UCF.
This gigantic deer thing is in my bed. So now I'm just in a towel and I'm like, well, I can't even get to my clothes. Like, what if it wakes up? And
I've seen these videos
around?
before.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. Right. So I go to the door, and it's just laying in the bed like it's its bed. And I'm like, hey, can somebody come down here, please? And they're like down there, and I'm like, who let this thing in my room? And they're like, oh, we did. We thought it was funny. And I was like, well, you got to get it out of the room. Like, because I need to get dressed.
Now the cast of Jackass is helping you, your conservationist. You got Bam Margera letting the Inyala into your cabin.
The tick-filled Inyala, whatever.
Hey, what's up? I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is called the Inyala Tick Challenge.
Kind of dirty butt is all doo-doo crusty.
Yeah, and it's in your bed, for Christ's sake. You know what?
It's in my bed. That's
I love you. I would never do that. Like, that's a great prank. It's almost a step too far for me because that's your that's your bed.
So
you know what I mean? Like, that's your bed.
I come back inside and it's not in the bed, and there's only one room, right? Like, and then there's kind of a half wall, and on the other side of the half wall is where the bathroom is. And I open the door and I'm like, where the heck did that thing go? So I walk around the corner and it's in the shower. And I'm like, you guys have to come in here and get it out. Like, I can't, like, it's gonna do something, and it's gonna wreck this room. Then I'm gonna have to pay for it because I let the Inyala in the room. So they call it out of the.
It's just like a standard hotel room. What are we like? When you say room,
I'm trying to picture. You know what? That's
first, I'm thinking a hut. Yeah. You know, so I'm like hut, and then I'm like, no. Well, from the story, like, this is a more.
Yeah. What does it look like?
So it was called Zebra Hills.
Zephyr Hills. Zephyr Hills. No, I'm kidding.
No, Zebra Hills Preserve is what it's called.
Okay.
And it was really nice. And after we left, it burned to the ground, which was also crazy.
Oh my God.
So they get it to come out into the room, and I'm just kind of like this, like if you're herding emu, I'm like, whoa.
I wanted to tiny foot the TV remote.
Oh my God.
and it starts eating the toilet paper. So it's like eating toilet paper. The toilet paper's rolling, and I'm like, "Hey, somebody's got to come get this thing out of here!" Like I can't get dressed. Like I'm gonna miss. Like we're leaving in just a few minutes, and I can't even get dressed. So that was the Inyala story. And then the night after,
that Inyala burned that place to the ground.
That's what I think. If you're not gonna let me make love to this woman, I'm burning this place to the ground. I'm in heat. I am a horny animal. If you don't let me make love to this conservationist, I'm burning. I'm leveling this place.
It hoofed a cigarette.
You have one day. You have one day
into the bushes.
So then
it set a timer.
In the night, we have this big bonfire, and everyone's eating, and I'm sitting in my chair, and we're talking about our day and what we saw and all this kind of stuff. And here comes the Inyala. It just stands right beside my chair, as if it's participating in the conversation, right? Like it's just standing right here. So that
girl.
In that moment, we became friends. So later on in the night, there was like an open room, like a common room, and I went and I'm watching TV because I've never seen South African TV. I don't even have a TV here.
South African American Gladiators. Awesome.
I'm watching South African TV, and here comes Inyala right through the door. We're into the common room, gets up on the couch, sits down on the couch, and puts her head right in my lap. With these horns, right?
What you want to watch, girl?
And I'm like trying to kind of get out from underneath her because I want to. And then one day we go on safari and we come back and I'm like, well, where's my friend at? Where's Inyala? Oh, well, she's not in heat anymore. She won't come back around. And I'm like, so that's it? Like we didn't even get to say goodbye? And they're like, yeah, she's gone. She won't be back till next year whenever she goes in heat.
That's wild animal.
That's like me and my wife. Anyway.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, but I got ticks from her. So everybody else on the trip got sick. They all got tick bite fever and they got it immediately. But I never washed my hands at work. So I'm pretty immune to everything. Salmonella, all of those things don't affect me.
I have to admit something. I never washed my hands at Gatorland. Not even one time. I'm throwing chicken like a wild boy. And I didn't even wash my hands. I drove my Tesla home. The whole thing. It's everywhere. I do it like you. I don't know.
What's tick fever feel like?
So it didn't have. So the funny part is, it was all guys that got the tick fever and they couldn't get up the next day, so they couldn't do anything fun the next day. And I was like, that's because y'all are weak and y'all wash your hands too much.
Oh yeah, get up.
And
that's where the American inner took over.
And y'all don't know how to. Y'all aren't tough like me. Like you're not going to be. You can't be me. Blah 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 blah. So I didn't get it till I came back home. Once I got back home, I was like, I think something's wrong with me. Like because I couldn't like breathe right, and I had a fever, and all this kind of crazy stuff was happening.
That's terrible.
Like if there's obviously something wrong with you, and you're like, I think so. You have a fever. You can't breathe.
I'm covered in tick bites.
Look, that's an African tick bite. You see that right there? People don't get those from American ticks.
That's a big scar, dude.
Yeah, and they were all over me, but they were too small for me to see. But by the time I got home, they had grown a little.
That's like me and my wife. I'm on her all the time. Too small to see.
Like they like grow as they engorge themselves with the blood.
Yes.
And then they give you a fever. Does this affect you for life?
Oh, for like a week, it got me. It got me for like a week. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't do anything.
You've been to a lot of places where you could contract things and die, right?
I had a botfly.
Yes, we didn't talk about the botfly.
Botfly was the coolest. Like, I've gotten a lot of...
Does not sound like the coolest.
Can we talk about the botfly? Because I think you may have told me this.
Yeah.
But...
So I think I got it from an animal one time when I was in Cuba. I came back and I had this weird spot right here. So we had found this baby hutia, which is like a Cuban tree rat, right?
Okay.
And it was super cute little baby. In retrospect, the reason the mom abandoned it was probably because it was covered in botflies that I didn't see.
The best girl I ever dated, Cuban tree rat. I loved her with all my heart.
Wild.
Yeah.
So I have this little baby, and I have it right here, and I'm feeding it little goat milk, like we're milking goats. We're feeding it goat milk, trying to bring it back to life, blah, 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 blah. I slept with it on my stomach and everything, try to keep it warm, try to make it survive. And then when I got home, I kept having this little itch right here in the same spot on my stomach, right?
Where you let the wild animals sleep.
Right. And then one day I was in the bathroom, just hopped out of the shower, and it was itching, and I looked down and I saw a little thing in there, and I was like, oh my God, that's a botfly, right? And as a wildlife influencer, like you said, I have to film this. Botfly videos are the best in the game.
Oh, it's gonna get a lot of clicks.
Said that
out the shower.
Christine, shout out to Christine. She says my husband loves watching botfly removal videos.
Yeah,
that is a thing.
Well,
So-
your husband's a psycho.
So I never went to the
You'll
doctor.
take that as a compliment, I think. Yeah.
I never went to the doctor. I was like, oh, when this botfly comes out, like when it comes out, I'm going to film it. It's going to get millions of views. It's going to be the best thing ever. So I was prepping everybody. Hey, guys, I have a botfly right here. I'm not going to have it removed. I'm going to wait till it gets big enough to come out on its own, right?
So a bot fly will inject something with its actual eggs, and then it will like.
I'm not quite sure how they
How does it work?
Let's let Daniel Google
I can Google that. Hold on. How about I do that?
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it can come from like mosquitoes or flea bites, maybe.
Okay. But it's actually the bot fly larva is
Yes.
what comes out.
Yes.
So you
but
use
I
it
can
like a
see
host.
the botfly larva every day.
You nailed it.
Like I can see its little head.
The adult botfly lays eggs on a host, usually mammals, sometimes even humans, but the adult fly doesn't always deliver the eggs herself. Some species use mosquitoes or other insects to deliver them. They burrow under the skin. Once
Yeah.
hatched, the larvae burrow into the host's skin and live there for weeks, feeding on their tissue. You'll often see small boil-like lumps with a hole in the center of
Uh-huh.
it. That's how they breed. Eventually, they crawl out. After maturing, the larvae wriggle out of the skin, drop to the ground, and pulpate into adult flies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna barf. Listen, you live a wild, awesome life. You're a lunatic, and I love it.
So I'm nurturing this botfly, right? I'm making sure he doesn't pop out at like I'm keeping it, right?
This is content.
It's content. It's going to be so great when I get this botfly video,
I don't
right?
think my wife would let me harvest my bot flies for videos on the show, but I'll try.
And then it was one day at work. Some girl was like, Savannah, how's your botfly? And I was like, oh, it's doing really good.
Come here and
so
see
I open up my shirt so she can see the little, because now it's like a hole and I can see its little head. Like,
Oh my God!
I mean, it goes back in if you try to touch it.
I'm getting the wet mouth you get before you barf.
I'm
You know,
gonna
like that.
I'm squishing that thing out of there immediately.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no way I'm living with that.
I mean, Savannah, I don't even like pooping. Pooping's gross for me. Like when I poop, I'm like, that was so horrible. Like I'm crying afterwards. And, like I don't even like pooping.
So I'm showing the girl my botfly, right? And at the exact same time I'm showing her, the hole where it's underneath this thing. Like it's right here under my bra. And then at the same time there's a radio call. And I pick up the radio to say, like, this is Savannah, like, what do you need? And the girl that was with that other girl goes, oh my God, there's a maggot coming out of your stomach. And I'm like, no! Right? I don't have my phone ready. I can't film it.
Oh
and
my
I'm like,
God,
no!
world star! Help! Somebody help! Help! Content! World star! Help!
And so, like, I look down, and by the time I look down, it has fallen, right? So I'm trying to catch
It's
it.
gonna pulpate!
But I
quick!
was so hot and sweaty that I squished it.
Oh,
so I never got a video out of this thing that I hatched out of my stomach. I'm going to show you what it looks like.
You killed your baby.
Put a gummy worm in there.
Wait, where is it? You see the hole?
Oh man! Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
that's like a paintball scar.
Damn.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
got
That's
you.
where he came from.
They got you. Oh my God.
So a larvae, it basically lived inside your stomach.
She allowed it to live inside her. That's the thing that's most impressive, I feel, is that you allowed it.
I did.
You knew what it was and you let it happen. Like, I don't even if I have a splinter, I guess I could wait it out. But
Sacrifices for content, man.
I guess, yeah.
That
That's
I didn't
wild.
even get. At the end of the day, I didn't even get the content.
You
killed your
You are
baby.
tough, Savannah.
Very tough.
How often? Okay, do you feel like when you are around other like wildlife people? Right?
Uh-huh.
Because I mean, other wildlife people are tough as well. Like you're
Yeah.
around all the time. Like
They try to be. Bear Grylls was fake. And we mentioned him earlier.
Yeah.
That was all a ruse.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got told firsthand by the guy from PBS, Les Stroud.
Les Stroud,
Les
yeah.
Stroud told us straight up. He was like, I know the fixer that gave Bear. He was eating some primitive animal or some sort of. and he was eating Kentucky Fried Chicken.
He
Like,
faked a lot of
Yeah.
his content
Yeah,
just
he
because he
has.
realized, like.
But that was a while ago. You can't fake content. I mean, you can if you're AI, but like for people that are really doing it, you can't fake that stuff anymore.
Yeah,
like you just can't.
Yeah, and also if you're not authentic too, and you're not being yourself, like
Correct.
people see it immediately on social. Like but in a world with endless entertainment, like they can recognize the real people
Yep.
from the fakers. And
True.
that makes a difference too. Going back to hippopotamuses, because you said you had
I
experience.
was in a boat with a bunch of hippos.
All right, let's talk about it because hippos are crazy.
grossest.
Are they gross?
You know they sling their poo with their tails,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's our favorite.
My favorite thing. Those videos, oh my God, I love those videos. If I'm having a bad day, like if I don't know, somebody's been mean to me or something, I'm a little down. If I load up a hippo slinging his poo, like whipping that tail fast, I'll be like, I get a smile on my face. I'm like, God, life is good. You know?
I mean, it's slinging it crazy. Why do they do that? But like, you don't even
Is
know.
Mark their territory,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, all animals. I should start doing that. I used to do that in my front yard when I lived in Colonial Town. I would just pull my pants out and spin in a circle peeing. You know, that's why
We gotta chop it fast.
No, hippos like to pick on, I feel like, crocodiles, which is why they're not my favorite.
Okay.
And plus, I think, I don't know, like I saw a baby hippo and it was really cute, but we were in a boat and there were lots of hippos around, like the boat that we were in.
Yeah.
And that's legitimately dangerous, right?
Yeah, it's legitimately dangerous, especially since there was a baby there too.
Ooh.
So like the family protects the baby.
Kind of like bears, like if the baby's around, like that's your most dangerous encounter with the hippo.
Yeah, I think that sometimes the males will eat the babies if they think they're not their babies.
Okay,
Or
yeah.
kill the babies if they think they're not their babies. But the moms are pretty protective.
You know what's so messed up about that? If you think about it, those daddies are eating their baby and then flinging him around with their tail later. And that's
flinging
it's
is the
so
most
insulting. Imagine if my dad ate me and then shit me out and flung me around. Like that's the most insulting form of child abuse you could do, is to fling your child out of your anus.
I've seen the videos of like hippos charging the boat, and it looks like a goddamn torpedo.
I've seen a flip boat.
Yeah,
You're
they
like,
can.
whoa! And then you get beer can teeth to death.
That's the thing we bring up all the time, is that
Crazy.
they do kill more people in those areas than almost any other animal, right? Like hippos
are gnarly, man.
How do they kill a croc? How does a hippo mess with a croc? Are they just so
I've
big?
just seen videos of hippos like stomping out crocodiles.
Damn.
Or like of a hippo over here minding its own business, a crocodile minding its own business, and the hippo will just go over and like step on it.
Because it can't.
Just like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't do anything to me.
'Cause I'm
My
big.
skin's too tough. I'm
Yeah.
too big. And did you know that hippos don't swim? They walk the bottom of the water.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I thought they like put their legs.
I did too.
And they did some sort of gator like.
I like
did
it better
too.
that they walk the bottom. That's cowboy. That's like a goddamn cowboy. They're like, I'd like
Just walk
that's
slowly.
the old, like, you want to run down there and F that girl? No, let's walk down there and F them all. You know, like that old
Yeah.
cowboy tale.
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna walk the bottom real slow. Then you see that crocodile? I'm gonna walk over to him and stand on his head.
Did you ever hear about that guy that had a pet hippo and it ended up killing him?
No.
There was some guy. I don't know where he was, but he had a pet hippo that got abandoned by its mom, and then they were really good friends, and then he loved it, and he rode it, and all this kind of stuff, and then one day it just decided, nah, I'm going to kill you today. Like, it just killed him
my God.
outright.
Yeah, I think a lot of animals they reach maturity and then they're
Chimpanzees,
still,
yeah,
they're
we're
still
doing that
wild
too.
inside. There's like they're not your friend.
No.
they're not your.
Is that
buddy.
your number one question because you work with kids so much and you're such a you run that line between like almost being like you're an educator and a child, like you have a lot of young people that look up to you and you're safe content for them, educational content and exciting content.
Right.
But then on the same side, you have people that you're doing a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
Are they constantly worried about you? Are they constantly saying, why the hell are you doing that? Or do you get, you think you're going to get hurt? Or like, is that your number
I
one
get a little
question?
bit of both of it, like I get a little, like I love the kids. The kids are the most important, Trick Daddy loves the kids.
100%.
But I always feel like it's weird when it's a grown up, right? Like when it's a grown up that's coming at me, or like Charlotte with her 4 kids, and Charlotte wants to say she hopes I die, and like I'm like, Charlotte, come on, man, what's wrong with you? I don't even know. I'm just making up a name.
No,
Yeah,
but that is a weird flex. I just wonder because it's also though you're in a cool spot because you are bringing something to the table. I think it's weirder when you're like an adult, like presenting something out there and you're just it's almost like an opportunist.
Yeah.
I feel like you really, and you always have, like I remember back before you didn't work at Gatorland how the goal was Gatorland.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. I don't even know if our listeners know that, like, it wasn't
7 years I applied to Gatorland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
That's a long time, And
But
people,
what was the fuse light in the dream of working with reptiles? I mean, you always have, but like as a little girl, like in Chirag,
I mean, as a little girl, being really poor, catching everything that was my friend,
Yeah,
not
there
getting
you go.
along with, most people.
Yeah.
Like all my pets that lived in my room were my friends, and like, just this sort of like made up world I had in my head. And then, I got kind of away from it for a while. Cause when I first moved to Florida, like when I moved, I I had a job opportunity at Merritt Island Wildlife Refuge because I was going to be an air traffic controller there, but then I got to live on a wildlife refuge.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know you were in the military, right?
Yeah, I was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, that's worth mentioning. Thank you for your service. But a lot of people don't know that. Like, I've mentioned that to people before, and they're like, no. And I'm like, dude, you don't know how long I've known her. Like, before she even, I mean, you've lived 9 different lives. Man.
I have.
Like, you're a very experienced person, and still young. Like not even old. So, I mean.
So it's been definitely a good life for sure. And I love it. I love every bit of it. I work really, really hard. I think that's another thing that the whole generation coming up doesn't know. Like, it's really, really hard to get a YouTube channel up and functioning. It's hard for everyone. And people think like, oh, well, I'm just going to make one video and I'll go viral and then I'm going to make millions of dollars. That's not how it works at all. It is absolutely not how it works. Like, I have videos with 33 million views on YouTube and I still don't have 1 million subscribers. So
right.
Yeah. No, people constantly don't understand, especially like the influencer business, the content creator business, like even our business, where it's like, oh, you're just talking shit with your buddy Daniel, and it's like, nah, there's a lot more. Like it's
that's the easiest
full-time job.
Like knowing you were going to come in and knowing they were going to get to talk to you and hear great stories. That's something I can look forward to all week and have. But like knowing all the preparation for us to even just go on vacation as 2 guys that own a small business, I mean, like doing intros, I'm doing Black God, I'm doing voices.
Yeah.
He's in there, he's scheduling all commercials for like 3 different weeks. It's like, that's the stuff that we do all day. This, we only got, I don't know, maybe 2 hours with you, and then that's gone, and then it's back to the grind, and people don't think about that.
Are we not going to lunch?
We can.
I'm speaking of travel, I'm leaving tomorrow to Sweden.
Really? What are you doing in Sweden?
Crystal's got a family out there, and so she's always wanted to take our sons out there to meet her family. And she went, the last time she was there was 20 years ago when she was like 21 or whatever it is, 23. And so she's been out there before, met them, but they came here one time. I
think
met
that's
them.
cool.
So anyway, we're just gonna check out Sweden and then meet her family, then do some adventures in Sweden.
I saw when you guys went on that adventure to New York with the kids. That was wild.
What kind of wildlife do you see out there, Tom?
A lot.
He caught a dirty Mickey Mouse in Times Square.
New York's wild. You used to live in New York, right?
For a while, I did. I used to live up there for a while, but Times Square is wild now, right?
It is nuts. It's like being in the future.
Off-brand characters.
I love that. I love that. I love nothing but sad Spider-Man.
It is that. Like, this is like a movie, and this is a dystopian future, and I'm in the movie. Like, that's what it felt like to me, because I know it sounds podunk, small town Florida, but I'm like, whoa, this is what Fifth Element was. It's like there's screens everywhere. There's weird,
there's screens everywhere.
There's weird street performers that are all
like, how can you not be in that spot and just be like this? Like, my jaw was on the ground, right?
Yeah.
I'm just staring at everything. Everybody's trying to sell you something. Everybody's trying to get over on you somehow.
It's somehow horrible and great at the same time, which is weird, too, because people told me that. They're like, oh, yeah, New York's overwhelming.
You're going to love-hate it.
And then, but you're going to be drawn to it for some reason. And I think it's just the difference of how you live in New York City compared to how we live.
And the energy that's in that moment.
I was going to say.
Too many people. Yeah, so many people.
Like, you can't calm down, right? Like, it feels like you're having a panic attack all the time.
Tell them about tell Savannah about the Echo Hut.
Oh, we're standing in a hut out there doing a moose safari. You ever seen a moose?
No.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple. Trust me. I mean, back in the monster days, I've seen all the. You used to see me. I'd go moose hunting. I'd be out at T's and Q's, dressed in my finest wide collar.
Oh my God,
smoking
T's and
cigarettes.
Q's. That's too funny.
I was smoking cigarettes.
Is T's and Q's still a place?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
Real quick, I want to ask you about news hits because you've done a lot of them. Where you bring, Baby Gator to the news station, and and
multiple late night shows you've been on, right?
I was on Drew Barrymore's show.
Oh, that's cool.
Tell us about that.
I just love Drew Barrymore.
Is she your friend now?
I wish.
Have you ever?
I think Ross, who's on her show, I think we gelled better than probably me and Drew.
Gotcha.
But yeah. But I've done a lot of TV, but what was your question? I'm sorry.
Well, when you do that stuff, is it easy for you? Like, when me and Daniel, anytime we do a news hit, it's so foreign because I'd rather just sit down and talk to someone.
Yeah.
And then those things are different. They're
very
different
formulated.
It's a very different animal than what we're used to. So I get nervous because I'm like, oh, this is going to be a thing.
He's also forced to wear shoes. Which,
do you wear those purple shoes that are in there?
yes, he does.
So just doing they come easy to you, or do you have a hard time? You also did a TED Talk. I wanted to talk to you about.
It's usually pretty easy to do the news stuff. I mean, the general questions are usually the same about alligators and stuff like that. I did do a news piece, and I won't say who or where, but I could tell that the hosts didn't like each other. It would be like if I came into here and you guys had just gotten in a fight. Now, they don't know that I have a background in any sort of entertainment or anything like that, right? But I can feel that tension in a second. So I went into one time.
You've been an ensemble cast member on The Monsters and then multiple other radio shows. You can feel improv energy.
Oh, yeah.
You know exactly
You've got so
where
much
to go.
experience.
You
Yeah.
can go in any direction. You can write a song. You can write a bit. Like, yes. I mean, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I've gone to other shows before, and you walk in and you know that they were just fighting, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, because you can feel it. And then this news place, this was a couple years ago.
Like an energy suck.
The minute I walked in, I was like, uh-oh. Something just happened in here, or either these people hate each other.
Yeah.
And then, when they started talking to me, one of them was talking to me here, and one was talking to me here, but they weren't talking to each other. And I was kind of in the middle, and I was super awkward. And I don't know whose question to answer first. Right, because you guys just threw two questions at me at the exact same time.
Well, now they're in a competition.
Right. And so if I answer host X's question, then I left out Y, and then she's not going to ask me any more questions or engage with me. So in those moments, I just look at the screen and go, well, the thing about alligators is I'm not paying attention to either one of you guys.
Yeah, you just go into entertainer mode.
Right,
I just have to do this. I'm just going to make it happen.
Listen, from what I've been taught in radio, nothing makes a show better than everybody hating each other. That's Radio 101.
There is
me and Dana are trying to build on that.
We don't do that anymore, but it's
joking.
keeping you on your toes, I guess. If there's anything you can say that's positive about it, at least you get some energy out of it.
Well, I think the greatest thing about all of us here and Monsters as well and all of Real Radio is Orlando loves its own, right?
Yes,
Orlando, when I lived in California, Orlando was my majority of support. When I lived, that's the only other place I lived since I've been here, but Orlando loves its own. They will champion you if you're good to Orlando, and I feel like I've been very blessed to be a great part of Orlando, and hopefully, maybe if they write an Orlando history or something, maybe I'll get a
You're
little.
in it. 100%.
I'll get a little notation.
Oh,
Just
100%.
Florida in general, it's funny from living here my whole life.
I love it.
The older I get, the more I appreciate Florida. I didn't even realize how different other states were when I was younger. I didn't notice. I never lived anywhere else in other states, so you don't get to see. And then you hear other people I lived in California for a while. It is totally different. And I'm like, how different could it be? And then you find out that it is different. There's different states have different feels about them. And then
100%.
also the amount of variety we have in Florida, and just with the wildlife, our weather.
I love the people.
Cool.
I think Floridians and even the people that come here to be Floridians. I count you guys too. I don't know. I like the vibe here.
It gets a bad rap.
It does get a bad rap, and I hate that because I really do enjoy it.
Let it get a bad rap.
You're right. Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that everybody be scared to move to Florida.
Yeah.
I'm with it, right?
I see the memes.
Be scared to move to Florida because we got a lot of people here.
It's true. It's tight around here.
Yeah, it is. It's getting real tight. And that sheriff over in Brevard County, y'all don't come down here and mess up.
Oh, graveyard dead. You have to say graveyard. Oh, yeah, I know what dead means. Sir.
Yeah, I understand what you're
saying.
saying.
We'll shoot you. That's scary enough. Graveyard dead.
I just sent that.
Weird for a cop to say.
I just sent that video to a friend of mine in Australia, and they were like, well, how good's that?
Well, they're like Florida, right? Is it Australia kind of Florida?
Northern Territory of Australia is the Florida of Australia.
I think you told me that too.
It is so wild there. It is just wild.
What's your favorite place out of all the places? Is Australia up there?
Cuba's my favorite place to go because I love Cuba. And
just everything about it?
It's easy to get there. The people are the greatest people in the world, and they work so hard with so little to be able to, like, they don't have the same things we do here, but they still get the job done no matter what, and they're just incredible people. But the Northern Territory of Australia it's next level, man. Like, it is like it's just something that, like, you have to be there in that space to get it. Like there's a difference in me walking into a habitat at Gatorland with an alligator maybe that's been rescued than me walking into a habitat with a crocodile that already killed someone. So it knows it can, and then it's just me. And then I'm looking at it, and then it's looking at me, and it knows, like that. Look at that big-ass marshmallow over there. I could eat her right now.
And crocs are so fast. You showed us that when we were there. When we were at Gatorland, you were showing us the difference in speed and just the veracity or the aggression.
Yeah.
And crocodiles do not F around, dude. Like, we saw some things that day that, like, I was like, oh! Like, those crocs that's a different animal.
They're on a mission.
And they got their pointy-ass noses that make it worse. For some reason, they look like they want to get you.
Well, Australia's interesting because it's hard to get to, so it's been a long time by itself, if that makes sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it does.
Which creates
isolated.
a culture that is unlike what you're used to experiencing, which I love, by the way. Like, anytime you can go somewhere, you're like, whoa, this is unique. I've never seen anything like this. It's like with the people, with just the topography of it. That's cool.
It was so foreign to me. I had an Australian roommate when I went to UCF. When I transferred over, the roommate that I was going to get was Australian. I didn't end up staying on campus, but we ended up becoming friends. And he was like telling me all about he and his other Australian friends, like the lack of women that they had there in the particular town he was in Australia. Like, the majority of the women that would come there would be Asian women just because it's so isolated.
Right.
And they're over there with, Asian countries.
Yeah.
And it was like, he was explaining this to me and I had no concept of it. He was like, so for now, like, I will only date like Asian women only because, like, in the particular area I was in of Australia, it was only Asian people.
Those are your options.
It was like, I'm like, I don't understand this. This doesn't make any sense to me. It's wild, man.
Like, if I'm on the plane, right? And someone says, "Oh, hi, where are you going in Australia?" And I say Darwin or the Northern Territory, their response is as if you're flying from California to Florida. They go, "Why?"
Right.
And I go, "For the crocodiles," and they go, "There's not crocodiles anywhere else in Australia." And I'm like, "No, I love the Northern Territory," and they're always like,
Really?
Like, you can immediately tell if you say, like, "Oh, I'm going to Darwin." They'll be like, "What? Why?"
Because it's a place that no one usually seeks out. Interesting.
That is crazy.
Savannah, we'll let you get out of here.
Is that it?
Yeah. What are we doing?
We just talked for like 4 hours.
Oh man, we do the Bert Kreischer. Yeah, fire up the 3.5 hour. A big Rogany.
Well, listen, we can talk about anything you want. We really have
something you want to talk about?
I don't really have anything in particular.
You got some agenda you want to?
No, I just had a lot of fun and always.
Well, you're always welcome back, man. Like you just driving through and you want to play pinball, swing by. We'll let you play.
I don't even know where I'm at. When I came here, like, I've never been to this part of town, I guess, since I've been back. 9 years, and I didn't even know where I was. I was driving going, where am I?
It's a little Stepford.
What is this?
You've never been to Baldwin Park?
And I thought those were all houses, and then I started, and you were like, there's a little Tom and Dan sign, and I was like, are there little signs on all these places?
Oh, I should have said, like, all
this commercial. But this is a house above us, and so it's kind of
there's
like
a child being held captive.
So there's a house above you, but your business downstairs?
Yeah.
Huh.
Business in the bottom.
It's
Party in the top.
Never been done business on the bottom.
Well, follow. What's all your social media? I mean, people know.
So you can follow me on Instagram. It's at Savannah Boan. If you don't like me, you can follow Gatorland. It's at Gatorland_Orlando.
That's hilarious.
And what I always forget to say now, because it's very new, is if you want to see like some of the work we're doing and how it all fits together, you can go to GatorlandGlobal.org, which is our new website. And I keep forgetting to say it on the news, and I get in trouble every time. So now I'm trying to remind myself to say
GatorlandGlobal.org.
Can we do like a monthly update?
100%.
Yeah, let's do it.
Lose some
Like a
wildlife.
July, like
100%.
a August. I'm gone the entire month of August, though.
So where
Where do you go?
Go to Australia for the entire month of August.
Hey, Australia, August, Australia.
Yeah,
I
but
love
then
it.
I'm back in September, and then we could do a catch up in September,
it.
and then I go to El Salvador in mid-September.
Is it their winter down there in August?
It's their dry season.
Or dry season? Okay,
Yeah.
but it's
Was it?
cooler though, right? Or something like that? No.
It's like Florida hot, but not humid. Well,
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit humid.
Wasn't
but-
your grandfather the king of El Salvador?
He lived in El Salvador.
And he was
for a
the
while.
streetlight king, stoplight king of El Salvador.
Yeah, he had a stoplight.
He had a stoplight
business.
company. That's
Oh,
true.
really?
Yeah.
Is he still
Am
over
I
there?
not
'Cause
allowed to
I-
talk
No,
about
no,
that?
he died
Am I
when I
allowed
was
to
10.
talk about that?
No. There wasn't nothing. He was on the up and up.
Oh, okay.
It was back when you went down to Central America or South America, started a business, and then
Yeah.
like an American businessman opening up. But then like tanks started coming. And,
I'm starting an Aunt
They
Annie's
took it-
pretzel factory in Japan. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, he was like, down here, the government just seizes your business for war. So I was like,
there's a
wow.
tank here. Gotta
He was like
go.
that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So my mom lived down there, and all my uncle and aunt for a while.
I
it's
thought
weird.
that your mom had an El Salvadorian accent when I talked
I remember
to
when we
her.
were kids, we found a briefcase with like 9mm bullets just riddled in there.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Like a beer.
You and Tom have a lot in common. Like,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
I hope I'm all right over there.
No,
Oh,
nowadays.
it's fine now. It's like Disney World now. Everything.
I don't know.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks for listening. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We love you.
Anytime.
And guys, we will see you next week.
Hold it, fellas. Oh, wait a minute. I can't publish that. It's, mediocre.
This is all jokes and funny to you, huh? You can take it up with legal. Have a good day.